This is the second problem in homework of week 2 in the Catia CAD class. Okay, you're asked to create this model, and the dimensions are in millimeter. I'm not going to be using Boolean operations. You're just going to model based on sketch-based features as you see it. And my strategy is to make the bottom piece first, this bottom base first, and then build on top of that. Okay. Now notice that down here, what we have, this circle is radius 20, and it's also symmetric, and the distance from this to that is 90. So 20, 50, 20, they adds up to 90. So that's how I'm going to do that. The width of this, of course, is double the radius, which is 40. Okay, so let me go ahead and start with the part file. I'm going to call this thing homework week 2, problem 2. All right, and immediately I'm going to save this thing. So this is going to go file, save management, save as. I have a folder here, which is exactly that. It's going to go into that. Saving is critical because you're going to be doing it on the midterm and the final. It has to be done correctly. Right, good. So on that horizontal plane, I will sketch. To make my job easier, I'm going to make this thing a centered rectangle like that. And this side is 40. And this side is 50. Okay. And then I add those two circles I mentioned. So let me do, let me make my job easier. First of all, I'm going to delete this. And I'm going to delete that. Then I'm going to make a half a circle. So centered is going to be right there. And it's going to start up here. And it's going to go all the way down there. And let me mirror this on the other side. So I'm going to select this and let me mirror it with respect to that. So that is the base, except for those two circles, those two holes, one over there. Let me see, what was the radius of that hole? It says here diameter 15, diameter 15. So let me dimension this thing. 15. And to make my job easier, I'm going to select this and mirror it on the other side. Good. Exit. Let's see for a second what have we got here. Okay, pad by what height? This height is 10 millimeter. Okay, 10 millimeter. So that's going to be the base. And then what I'm going to do is perhaps to make this rectangle here. I'll make this rectangle here and then pad it this way. And let me see now, what is the width of this? The width of this is 10. And the length of this whole thing looks like it's 40. So I'm going to make a rectangle by the height of the width of 10. And this height is, let me see, what is this height? This height is 30, okay? So let's go on that vertical plane. I will sketch. All right, so I'll sketch a rectangle. This is the center. Yeah, make it, where is that rectangle? Not the centered one. A rectangle like this. Actually, let me see for a second. On this plane, I want to draw. Yep. Yes. Yes. Okay, so normal view. I'm going to clean it up in a minute. So a rectangle, this side, this size, this width is 10. And oops, 10. Okay, this height is 30. 30. Okay, so now this line should be coincident with that. So this line control that line. You make them coincident. Okay, and this line control it, that line also coincident. Very good. And exit, and then had it mirror extend 20, 40, 20. There. Okay, so what you see here, what you see there is this rectangle there, and I can actually uh, do this stiffener here. Okay, and let me go ahead and so for example on this plane I will sketch. You can use a stiffener if you want, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to draw and clean up. We'll clean it up. So I'm going to make this point control that coincident with each other. Okay, and this point control that point, also coincident with each other. Very good. Exit, and then the thickness of that, the thickness of the stiffener is, let me see, 12. I think it's 12 right there. You can see that 12 millimeter. So we go up. So this thing padded in both directions. So that's going to mirror extend 6 millimeters in each direction. And there's my stiffener. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is I'll draw that top piece. I'll draw something like that, and then we put the right dimension and then add it appropriately. So on that plane, I will sketch. Let me see. I want to draw something like this. Okay, so we move down here. Using a profile, maybe get this thing out of the way. Where's the profile? Here, profile. So I'm going to go, we'll clear it up. Something like that, and something like this, and something like that. Terrible. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this point, control that point, and make them coincident. Okay. We'll do this point, control that point, also coincident. Okay. I can put that center on that vertical line. That makes it symmetric automatically. This point control that line. Coincident. Automatically it makes it symmetric almost. I mean, what I want to do is actually I want this and that to be symmetric too. So this control that also to be symmetric. Uh, Actually, here's the way the order selection is. This control that, control the middle axis. Now we make it symmetric. Okay, and this guy control that, make a tangent. Okay, very good. How about dimensions now? Let's go ahead and check our dimensions. So Let me see now. That outside radius is 15. Is that right? Inside one is 10. So actually, let me make the following. Let me make this thing make it 10. Diameter 10. And this one is diameter, I believe, 20. And this one is, let me check here. Uh, Actually, you know what? Why don't we just leave this thing out for now? Let me just take this thing out. I'm going to leave it like that. So, what is that distance from here to here is 50. Oops, wait a minute. From there to that line is 50. Okay. So another dimension from here to this line, 50. I think that's what it is, right? From this to that end line is 50. Very good. So exit and then pad it in the other direction by, what is that thickness? That's 10. It's 10. Yep, this is 10 by 10. Okay, good. What do we have here? On the very top, I have a, let me make a circle. Okay, so let's go back here. On that face, we'll draw a circle. I want to make this concentric with that, control that, make it concentric. Not concentric, coincident. Okay, very good. And then we need, okay, so exit. Yeah, let me exit that. And then let's see what we got here. What is height? This height. This height is also 10. Whole thing is 20, so I'm going to add this thing by another 10 up. Yep. Very good. And let's check this. Yep. On that top face, I will draw a circle. Make it concentric with this. Control that. Make them concentric. Okay. And I want that radius. What is that radius? That radius is, what is this? 10. Okay, that radius is 10. Radius. Don't quite see that though. Just 1 second here. Something wrong there. So radius 10, radius 15. Okay, so let's see now. This should be 10. Yeah, it should be 10. Good. Exit. And then we make a pocket all the way to the end. There we are. So I think, unless I made a significant mistake, oops, this should be the same. It looks the same. Yeah, very good. That takes care of it.